Hey folks, how's it going? Shahriyar Mustafiz here with yet another speed art video. As you can see, it's a little bit different in the format this time. I'm actually re-uploading a live stream that I did on my Twitch channel. If you guys didn't know already, I have a Twitch channel where I stream games, and I decided to do something different last Friday. And it was just basically a free drawing night, just me drawing in clips video paint while I ate dinner basically, and just waiting for you guys to come online. Nevertheless, it's just kind of like a free way of just showing off my workflow and just painting and just drawing whatever and just chilling with you guys, and just basically nothing much. It was just a chill time. Got to talk and catch up with you guys, interact live wise. I'm not a big fan of live streaming on YouTube right now because I'm not aware of how to use the system, or it's not as comfortable as using Twitch. But I was quite happy with the whole setup that I got, the cinematic lighting and everything. And chances are that I'm probably live streaming right now. I live stream on every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at 9 p.m. or 8:30 p.m. PST. Be sure to check out my Twitter page so you guys can get the updates on when I am live. And as you guys can see, I tend to do a lot of sketching when I do warm-ups, and if you're wondering why I drew a bunch of circles and lines, that's how I warm up, you know? It's like kind of like stretching before you go to the gym or you start running a marathon. You don't want to just go right into a sketch or have no plan. And this is one of the things I like to advise a lot of people when it comes to art. I'm not a professional per se, but I also have my ways of working methodically. And I tell a lot of young artists who ask me, where do I get started? How do I start drawing? How do I sketch like you? And it's, first of all, lots of practice. And I know that's like a very vague term to say, but it's really what you practice, and practice makes permanent, but not perfect in my opinion. And if you need to know how to practice and be aware of how you make mistakes or how you do things, which is why I sketch. Within the first, I guess, half an hour of the live stream, I had gone through so many sketches just trying to draw a simple little cowboy, and I was feeling really rusty and really honestly a little frustrated with my ability to draw. But I was just having fun and just kind of sketching and then trying to work off of my own visual library. And that's another thing, building a visual library is very important. Now, what is a visual library? It's just basically building a not a physical library per se, but like kind of like a mental image of what you want to draw, and that comes from observing and practicing over and over, like cross-hatching and every single thing of your fundamentals. Now, I tend to use the word fundamentals when it comes to a lot of young artists who ask me, how do I draw, how do I do this, and they just want a list from me. And you know, as an artist, that becomes, as a self-taught artist, I'm not in school, and I'm probably not the worst person to come to for advice. And what I know is what I know from years of experience and wanting to get better at my craft. And I'm probably rambling here, but like building a visual library is just building a better observational skill and having those hand-eye coordination, which I'm terrible with. And here I'm just basically using my Huion HQ20SM. I can't remember, but it's called the Huion Dial tablet. I'll probably do a review on that in the future sometime soon. I did upgrade to the Canvas 13, which is a display tablet. There's a difference between those two. But building a hand-eye coordination and building that physical barrier, like knowing your values. And for me, like my strongest suit is being able to work in monochrome. And so as you can see here, I have the cowboy already finished and I've done my part. And you know, this isn't going to be something like a piece of art that I'm probably going to put in my portfolio. This is just kind of warm-ups, just kind of like come back to form, because I haven't been really drawing a lot lately. And if you guys know me enough or follow me on my Instagram, which is @Mustafiz, if you haven't followed me over there yet, I post a lot of my art, my visual effects, my video work on my personal Instagram profile. I don't tend to use it as a business way to upgrade myself, but it's just something to show my work. And here I'm basically talking about how I basically refine my sketch. And if you can see, I basically painted over it. I go from a sketch to underpainting to basically painting over things. And here I'm just babbling about catching up with one of my friends who it's been a while since the last time I talked to them. And if you really want to know how I set up this whole entire live stream thing, definitely do let me know in the comments below. And if you're interested, definitely let me know if you enjoy this type of format where I basically re-upload a time lapse. But back to what I was saying about sketching. Now I basically like restarted and tried to basically show off my process of how I go through with a conceptual paint. So I wanted to draw a samurai armor from memory, you know, like not armor per se, but a helmet. And it's interesting because what you remember versus what you draw from reference is totally different, and which is why I recommend looking at, if you don't have that strong visual library. Like personally, my visual library depends on my mood. Sometimes it's great, sometimes it's not good. You know, I can't personally say I have what some other artists possess, but you know, that's what the whole journey is about, is basically building towards that. So this here, I'm basically trying to, I know I have my proportions off, but I'm just trying to key in and paint in basically areas that I do remember from the armor. So I remember that there's a face mask, there's this helmet that looks like something like a baseball helmet, there's pleated armor that extend away from the hat or the top of the helmet. And I'm just basically painting in my basic values and trying to work a color. Like I said, my strongest suit with working with monochromatic palettes, but here I'm just doing what I know and what I remember from my memory. And like I said, I'm not the most best person when it comes to having a visual library, and I totally highly recommend, if you're starting out and if you have your basics down, like your values, your shapes, your primitives, if you have that down, basically start trying to replicate things that you see, observe, take some time to look at it, and draw from references. It's not cheating if you're drawing from references. It's cheating if you're trying to what's it called? Trying to trace and draw, unless you're doing it for like anatomy stake or something like that, and you're just trying to learn how the lines of action and everything. And that's a totally different video that I'll probably explain. And if you're interested in that, once again, comment below. Nevertheless, is that to draw from reference is not cheating. If you look at something, take the time to do some life drawing, it's very important that you do that. Nevertheless, I'm just taking a pause, and I know I've done some mistakes with my proportions and everything, and I know I totally forgot something, so I tend to go back in and paint over problem areas. And you know what the coolest thing about the digital medium is that it's so forgiving. And I'm traditionally trained, but the digital medium, like, you can do so much, and especially with this program, Clip Studio Paint, it's my bread and butter right now when it comes to illustration. And here I am annotating and giving myself a critique, showing off my tab a little, and probably eating a little more chicken karage on this side. Anyways, one of my favorite tools is to use the quick selection tool, which is similar to one in Photoshop, but I like how in Clip Studio Paint you can just select it and warp it. Now, one thing I do miss from Photoshop is it's a liquify tool, and the liquify tool is basically a mesh warp tool similar to that, but only allows for a little bit more fine tuning and warping, like kind of like playing with slime, I guess you can say that. But the cool thing about Clip Studio Paint is that I like this quick mask tool, is that it creates a quick selection just by using my paint layer, and I enable it, and I'll probably do a tutorial in that later. Here I'm just fixing up my proportions, probably going to be painting in and out stuff, talking more about what I need to do. And another tool, one of my favorite tools in CSP, is using the loop fill tool, which it's just like taking a lasso tool in Photoshop and filling, but it takes out that extra step. All I do is just basically lasso and just do this like I'm here doing with like I'm doing here with the horns of the samurai helmet. And it's interesting that I can do that instantly and also bring out the symmetry tool, and then just use the perspective transform tool to just basically make this really quick. And I just love CSP just for that. I'm still figuring out how to use the program. I'm nowhere near or really good at using it, and here I'm just basically promoting my channels and just recommending that if you guys to check it out. And if you guys are interested, I do have other channels where I do gaming, cinema, and visual effects breakdowns, so you can definitely go check those out. Link is in the description below. But here I am continuing the live stream, showing off where I stop with the work and all my art, and basically just wrapping things up like I am about to do here. The whole entire live stream was about 2 hours long, and there you have it, you guys. It was really basically a very chill time, and just showing off my workflow and my live stream setup. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I want to hear your thoughts on this type of time lapses. Definitely take the time to look at my link below and go ahead and check out my Twitch channel and my other channels, as well as follow me on Instagram and my Twitter, which is the same handle by the way, which is at Mustafiz Shah. Go ahead and follow me over there. And if you like this video, leave a like and subscribe for more, as well as while you're there, hit that notification bell while you're at it, and I'll see you in the next one.